today we're going to start talking about types of angles. So if in your journal, on your table of contents, you would add types of angles, we're going to do a little foldable to help us identify these different angles and give some definitions. When you fold the foldable, it didn't line up exactly, so you're going to have it open. We're just going to fold to the center piece. Now, these lines right here, okay, these are not going to be the lines you're going to cut on. You're going to go ahead and open and cut just here to the fold. If you want to cut, you don't have to cut. It's just if you want to do that step. And we're going to talk about 6 different types of angles, and then tomorrow we'll do some more. So corresponding angles, that's where we're going to start. Corresponding means in the same place. In the same place. So if you think about how our school is set up, okay, my room corresponds to where Miss Williams' room is in the E hallway and corresponds to where Miss Tardif's room is in the F hallway. We're in the same spot, just in a separate type of location. So if you look here, and I'm going to use some colors to help us identify corresponding angles. So here I have two parallel lines. Okay, this is called a transversal because it is cutting both of the parallel lines. So corresponding angles are going to be in the same spot on the parallel lines. So 1 and 5, if I took this and I put it on top of here, the 1 and the 5 would be in the same spot. The 2 and the 6 would be in the same spot. The 3 and the 7 would be in the same spot. And grab one more color. And then the 4 and the 8 are in the same spot. Now, because they are in the same spot, corresponding angles are not only in the same spot, but they are also congruent. Okay, meaning they are equal. So we could write here angle 1 and angle 5. They're in the same spot. They are also going to measure the same because, again, if I took this and I put it on top, these would be the exact same angle measure. We can write down angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7, angle 4 and angle 8. When we look at the next one, actually we'll go across. Alternate interior. So keyword here, interior means inside. Alternate means opposite, right? So if we are going to open this up, and we can also write that these are also congruent, because that's important, because we're going to be talking about angle measurements soon. So we are only worried about, again, inside. So if I am looking at my inside angle measures, okay, then let's say I have angle 3, that is inside. I am looking on the opposite or the alternate side of the transversal. So 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles. They are equal. Okay. 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. So they are also going to be congruent, angle 4 and angle 5. And in our next foldable, we're going to talk about how this is a straight line. These two angles are what we call adjacent or a linear pair, and they're also what we call supplementary. So these two add up to 180, and so do these. These two are going to be equal, and these two are going to be equal. Because if you think about it, if we take this and we rotated it, the 6 would be where the 3 is, and the 5 would be where the 4 is. Let's go ahead and go down. Alternate exterior, so very similar. So now it is outside angles that are on the opposite side of the transversal. They are also congruent or equal. So now, unlike this top one where we were only looking inside, now we're going to look outside. So I can look here at angle 1, and I'm looking also on the outside, on the opposite side of the transversal, angle 1 and angle 8. And then also outside I have angle 1, or angle 2 and angle 7. And again, if I took and I rotated this, the 8 would be where the 1 is and the 7 where the 2 is. So angle 1 and angle 8, angle 2, and angle 7. Consecutive interior angle. So again, there's that word interior, which means inside. Consecutive in order or next to. This is also, we could call these adjacent interiors. We're going to see that word again, adjacent, C-E-N-T. And these are also going to be congruent. All of the angles we're looking at today are going to be congruent. So when I look in here, I'm looking again just at the inside, right? Interior, inside. And we're looking, I take it back. These are not congruent. I apologize. These are not congruent, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. So I'm looking here. Consecutive means next to or adjacent. So 3 and 4 are going to be consecutive interior. And 5. Oh, I apologize. I got those backwards. Go back. Erase. Use your whiteout. We're not crossing the transversal. I apologize. So let me take that back. Let me put my 5. So 3 and 5, because they are consecutive and they're on the same side of the transversal. Alternate was when we were crossing. So I apologize. That was my mistake. I got confused. 3 and 5, because they are inside and they are next to each other, meaning on the same side of the transversal. They are not congruent. They are not congruent. And then we can say 4 and 6, angle 4 and angle 6. Now, what these will equal is 180 degrees. Because if you look, these are going to create a straight line. Okay. If we come up to this top one corresponding, you can see that 1 and 5 are the same. Well, so 5 is the same as 1. This makes a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So we'll look some more at that. Vertical angles, okay, are going to be angles that are opposite each other. These are congruent, and you're looking for the V. Okay, it's going to create a V. So when we look in here, here's my V. So 1 and 4, right? Because they're opposite each other. 1 and 4, and then on my V, here I have a V here, I have a V here. So 2 and 3. So angle 1 and angle 4, angle 2 and angle 3. And then I have more, I have another V here. I have a V this way and a V this way. So 5 and 8. And then I also have a V going this way. So 6 and 7. And these are congruent. Angle 6 and angle 7. Because if you go back up to the top with the corresponding angles, You can see that, again, we talked about if we took this and we put it here, these are going to match. They're going to be congruent. Linear pair. A linear pair is going to be, pair means two. So two angles that create a line. So together they equal 180 degrees. So I can say, now this one is going to have a lot of linear pairs because we're looking for lines. So I have a straight line here. So I can say 1 and 2. I also have on the bottom here, I have a straight line. I can say 3 and 4. I also have a straight line here, so I can say 1 and 3 also. On the other side of this straight line, I can say 2 and 4. So we've got a lot of angles going on here. So I can say angle 1 and angle 2. Those were our first ones that we did with yellow. And then we did green, so angle 3 and angle 4. We did pink, angle 1 and angle 3. We did purple, angle 2 and angle 4. And we know, based hopefully on everything we've looked at, this matches this. So I can still say 5 and 6. I can say 7 and 8. I can say 5 and 7, and I can say 6 and 8, because those are also going to be linear pairs. So we can say 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 5 and 7, and 6 and 8. So hopefully that is a little bit helpful. And again, straight lines equal 180 degrees. So that's going to be a very beneficial piece to you. We're also going to do one more folding in class, and we'll finish some more definitions.